Hey, and howdy, folks. Here we are, Drive to Thrive podcast. I'm here with Whiskey Geo. I'm Coach Mike Mack, here for another episode on Drive to Thrive podcast. We just keep having fun, don't we, brother?
Keep having fun and hopefully impacting some lives along the way.
You know what? I've been noticing a lot of great comments. For example, I did some perusing through the group. There was one, and I can't remember his name right now, but he thanked us for having the group like we are, to where it's a safe place. They feel like they can share, and that's helping him quite a bit. And it's just like, man, it hits the heart when we get feedback like that. And I've gotten personal messages as well that thank us for what we're doing with the podcast and with helping them in a way that they don't see. We're not the only group out there, but
No, there's plenty of other groups, but and I've perused them, and I like the vibe and the energy in our group. There's an authenticity, there's a realism in our group that I haven't seen in others. So, you know,
absolutely. And like you say, we're just two guys. We're just having conversations. We're not, give you a disclaimer,
all
Gio.
right. As always, this is not legal advice. We are
Not
not attorneys. We are two guys who have gone through the ringer, that have been to hell and back, probably on the devil's speed dial, and want to use that experience to help brothers through their own situation.
absolutely.
We speak in generalities. We like to think that we can have an impact on your life through our own experiences and share details, but at no point is this
We're
legal
not
advice.
legal advice. We're not naming names. We're not, you know, you haven't never hear me say any names of who. We're not bashing women. We're not doing any of that.
It's
It's
all in positivity.
in positively and being able to take something, and we're going to talk about something that hit me pretty hard here
So
in
kick it
just
off, brother. What are we talking about today?
let's go. We're talking about identity theft, man. And not the credit card kind, okay?
Stole the question out of my mouth.
Well, I mean, eh, let me finish. Identity theft, when divorce steals the man you used to be.
Ooh.
When divorce steals the man that you used to be. See, now I got to roll right into a little bit of a story here, because when I was 14, okay, my dad, he milked cows. So when we get to the rest of the story about the washer and the dryer, which I've told that story a little bit, but anyway, when I was 14, my dad would get up at 1:30 in the morning, get ready to go milk cows. Well, the thieves out in the garage didn't know that there was anybody up at that time. The dog was going off, and my dad came to our bedroom. My older brother, I was probably 14, 15, something like that. My older brother, a year older. We're pretty big farm boys, okay? We do hay, so we've got some muscles on us, and we know we can handle ourselves. We get out there, and I'm scared shitless, okay? Because we can hear the rustling going on. We went out to the patio, and my drill sergeant dad, man, he's a tough old coot. I mean, tough as nails. He gave us baseball bats and said, "Be ready." And he went storming in there, and one guy comes out, and both my brother, we step up, we raise the bats like, "You're not going anywhere." And we didn't know there was two of them. And pretty soon, right after, my dad comes with he's holding the belt and the collar of another guy. He's coming out, and he tells the other guy, "Get down on the ground." And the guy's like, gets down. "Okay, boys, sit on him." So we're sitting on him, and I didn't know that he had called the sheriff. It wasn't too long the sheriff showed up, and those guys went to jail. But I can still remember the pit in my stomach, that someone was there that was stealing our stuff. And I don't know if you've ever had any kind of theft or robbery that happened in your
Yep.
life. It's just that, I don't know. I'm not sure what the feeling is, but it's that pit. It's like, somebody invaded your space without permission and taken stuff. And I tell that story just to roll into this one that is a little bit more difficult for me to share. It's when and of course, I was working on the dairy. Sounds familiar, right? I was
Mhm.
doing that dirty job, the AI, not the artificial intelligence. Okay, artificial insemination. You got the long sleeve. It's a dirty job, and the rule was when I got to the mud room, all my nastiness has got to come off and go straight into the washer. I get into the mud room, and there's no washer and there's no dryer. And my first thought was like, somebody robbed us. What the hell? You know? Now, of course, when I opened the next door, I didn't take my stuff off. I'm still stinking like crazy, right? I opened the next door into the house and there's just papers strewn all over. And that was my first experience of having her. She left without warning with the kids. And so, and I've told the story about me standing in the bedroom door
Mhm.
staring at the twin bed mattress. Well, if you back that up just a little bit, I thought we'd been robbed with the washer and dryer gone. And so this identity theft is just that. I felt like, and in some ways I still feel that way, that I got that my I'm not a dad full time anymore. I'm not a husband. I had those things stolen from me.
It's a punch to the gut.
It's it's a huge punch to the gut, and it took me a long time, Gio. Well,
And you
I
feel like you lose, and you felt like you lost yourself, right?
lost myself. It was all stolen. It was, and I know there's other brothers out there that feel that have a similar, maybe not to the extreme that I did
We
back then,
all have it on our own level.
but we all have, with that change of, and we get posts like this in the group all the time about she wants a divorce. Now what do I do? Or
So here's the challenge, right? Because I got to live up to my asshole
yeah, you
my
got to.
asshole reputation. Is it really a shock, though?
Really
Hindsight
a
is
shock.
2020, right? And like I could understand that some guys do actually live through shock, but how many guys out there ignore the signs?
Oh,
And then it's like, and I'll even say it, in my second marriage, the signs were there before I even got married.
oh wow. And now,
But
did you recognize them, or be like me? And I was told.
afterwards, so it was so whenever I talk to somebody who's looking at divorce and they're like, I feel like a fool because I got married. Now everything is like ripped away and my life is destroyed. The one thing I tell them is you should never feel bad because at a certain point you believe. And believing in love is probably one of the most beautiful things that you can do in this world. In this cold hearted, cynical, narcissistic bullshit
Negative.
world, you believe.
Yeah,
The problem is that you saw the red flags, you ignored them, and then you go through shock. And when that break happens, you're like, well, what the fuck?
exactly. I went that what the fuck stage happened for a long time for me. You know.
And that identity theft is not knowing who you are anymore because you don't know who you are moving forward, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Absolutely.
you go through that period where you're in shock, like someone in a car accident, like someone in, like there's so many, like the guy who catches the girl in bed with another. You live through shock, and
Exactly.
you,
Yep.
and what happens is that your brain stops processing.
In fact, the brain, that it's like a trauma, right? It like imprints. That twin bed mattress. or the washer and dryer being gone and that feeling, that pit in the stomach, that's still strong with me sometimes. You know, if I let it, if I stare at the rearview mirror long enough,
It's
I
always going to be a part of you.
start affecting me in my body.
It's
Okay.
always going to be a part of you. I left my son's mom 13 years ago. The situations around it and the fights around it are still fresh in my mind.
Right.
Because I loved this woman.
Same here.
And a part of me always will, even through the fights, even through the this. She's still the mother of my child. My second divorce, there's always going to be a part of me that's going to love her. And that, okay, that when you start dating again, when you start saying stuff like that, oh my God, you're not over her. No, moron. What it is that when you love somebody to the point where you think you're going to spend your life with them, and then that doesn't come true, there's a part of you that's always going to be affected.
You know, let's stop right there for a second, because what you said there, love them so much that you expect it to be for life, right? And that's where I was. High school sweetheart. I thought things were going great. Now, of course, looking back,
The
I
red
could see
flags.
I could see the language change. You know, she got a job, and pretty soon it went from our kids, our van, our car, our room, to my kids, my house, my car. But it didn't register. Okay,
And
you
it's
know,
amazing how it doesn't, right? And this is something that, you know, we could have an entire show on warning signs.
we probably should actually, just so that, you know, especially if we can catch some of these dads that are like, maybe we could help them.
So, you know, and I'll go off topic for 30 seconds to explain why. At one point, I was dating a girl, things were going really, really well. And, you know, every day was, I miss you, I love you, this and that. And like she was saying it back. And I wasn't in, like, we were both like initiating, right?
Hmm.
Then one day I was like, "Oh, baby, I love you." And she wrote back, and she was a French Canadian girl. So she wrote back something to the sense of, "Me too."
Me too. Oh,
And I was like, "What's wrong in our relationship?"
so my first thought is, and this is the English in me too, meaning she loves herself as well,
No,
right?
as in, like, I love you
Oh,
too, right?
I know. She's trying
So,
to
yeah,
reflect back,
so,
but
so I was
find
like, "What's wrong in the
words
relationship?" She's like, "Nothing." I'm like, "No, no, 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 no." I'm like, "Because we've established a standard of, I love you too.
back, right?
Now it's I love you, me too." So she goes, "Oh no, 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 you're just overthinking it, blah blah blah." Nope. 3 weeks later, we were done. So
The
those
sign.
are warning. Those are warning signs that you have to catch on to. And I think, you know what? Let's bank it probably for next week.
We should.
But when everything happens, that trauma, men, you have two choices. You can completely forget about yourself. And this is where men go through it, and it's shock, and it's how could this happen, and it's confusion. And
Yep.
then everything else starts, right? The bad habits, the alcohol, for some it's drugs, for a lot of guys it's food. We become
Food.
fat motherfuckers.
Food.
We
Yep.
stop working out.
We lose. Well, I lost that. I've said this
You
before.
lose who you are.
I lost her. I lost the job. I lost me. I've said that a few times, and it, you know, and I spend a lot of time blaming, you know, pointing the finger at all these other things, and never taking responsibility for myself back then. It took me a long time. I didn't have the convoy that we've got. I still say this, the passion I've got for this group comes from me going through all of that 20 years ago and not having what Gio and I are putting together in this group. Uh,
And when that
it,
happens, you're never going to get out of it until you start taking care of you, until you start finding your identity again.
Exactly.
And what a lot of people forget is you should never lose your individuality. In a relationship, yes, you're together. Yes, there's the kids. Yes, but you never can lose you. And that's been the one big thing for me. I'm a country music fan, going to shows. I love to work out. I'm up 6 days a week at 3:33 in the morning,
That
and I go
exact
work out.
time, is that an alarm that goes off at 3:33?
3:33. The reason
That was
why number 3 is my number. 3 has always been my number, and
can I
I
can I I
I
gotta
wear it around. I wear it around my neck. Kane Brown has a song about it as well.
do you know what time I was born?
Something tells me 3:33.
In the morning, AM, on the 3rd. of- I wish it were March. I wish I could say March, but 3rd of June. So there you go.
June is the 6th month. 2 times 3 is 6.
Hey, the 3 is there. But yeah, I had to throw that in there. Just
But
I love
it's
that.
I refuse to lose myself again.
See, we come back to boundaries, don't we? Right? That's
Uh-huh.
of having these. And I don't know if boundaries is a good word because it's like a shell. It's like things can come and bounce off of it to where we say no, that's
So
not
where I
changing.
want to drive this right now
Oh,
is,
I love that.
guys, if you're in a relationship and you don't know who you are, you you are not you are not your marriage, you are not your kids, you are you. And that has to be taken care of first.
Absolutely.
And if you're not doing that now, do it. But when the hammer drops, you have to start over. You have no choice. And
It
the
won't.
longer it takes you to figure out who the fuck you are,
I like where you're going.
the longer you're going to be in the shit. Because the more that you're going to be blaming people, the more that you're going to be blaming her, the more that, like, let's be honest, it takes two to tango. There's two of you that created this divorce,
Exactly. Exactly.
you know? And if you want to heal, if you want to move on, if you want, in my second divorce, a lot of social media shit went on, not from me, but I found myself so quickly that I didn't even let the hate bother me.
Wow.
Released her with love because I was confident in the man that I am. I know what my mistakes are. I've never walked away from, I've never hidden what my mistakes were in my second marriage, but I dedicated myself to me.
Excellent.
And if you lose yourself, if you allow your identity to go down the drain with your marriage, fuck, man, the only person you're cheating is the man in the mirror.
Yeah, I was just going to say that becomes, if that's happened like it happened to me, my whole identity was, you know, the marriage, really. And when the marriage blew up in that one single day when she just left without word, I didn't know where she went. I didn't know where the kids were. That I was frantic. It really threw me for a loop.
We
And
lose our identity the second we start negotiating, right? So, first of all, men are fantastic at this in the dating scene. So are women. Rather than being your true self, you're going to modify parts about you because he's so cute. Oh my god, she's so fucking hot. So you start modifying shit. Shit that 3 months down the road you're going to be like, I don't like this.
yep,
I've had women tell me, "Oh my god, you're so cute." Da, 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 da. And then it's like, okay, so we're getting ready to start dating. So can you trim your beard? What? Can you? I'm not a fan of the beard. Okay, well, it was nice talking to you.
It was been there the whole time, and you were
But
cute at
people
one point.
start negotiating, right? They start, it's
Yep,
not necessarily ID theft, it's you throw your ID away.
right.
I've had, oh, I love the tattoos, but if you ever meet my parents, can you wear a turtleneck and a long sleeve?
Long sleeve. Gotta hide who you are.
Huh? I'm like, I got tats on the fucking neck. I'm like, they're all the way down to my hands. Like, what am I gonna do? Wear gloves? God forbid I meet a fucking
Driving,
woman in the middle of July. I'm like, I'm gonna go there like dressed like it's fucking wintertime?
drive, drive to thrive, right? Driving gloves. You put driving gloves.
And you know what I've heard, Mike?
What's
It's
that?
just until they get to know you.
Oh, and then the gloves can come off.
So hold on a second. I'm gonna come over to your parents' house, get to know you. Wear like look like a douchebag because it's July and fucking sweltering heat, and I've got gloves and long sleeves on. So already I'm looking weird. But once Dad's like, I like this man. Now we're gonna rip everything off. Like, look what I did in the last week. Ha
That's
ha.
better.
The amount of shit
Wow.
that men, specifically men, do to lose their own identity, no. And this comes back to, like you said it before, boundaries.
Yep.
And we lose our boundaries. And, I'm not saying you don't become, to me, a relationship is you have to be at the service of the other person.
That's a huge thing right there of service.
But there's
Yeah,
a difference between being at the service of another person and completely changing who you are to make that person happy.
exactly.
I've had like, and I'll be honest, like I'm a picky motherfucker, okay? Oh, but I don't like country music. Fantastic. You seem like a really great girl. We can't be together. It's not because you're a bad person. It's just that I always have country music playing.
You're going to want someone to go with you to the thing that is you, right? I mean, it's
And what are my options? I'm gonna go with a friend, which she's gonna be like, "Well, it's the third concert you go to this year without me." Meh, 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 meh. Or you're gonna drag her to the concert of an artist she doesn't like, and it's like, I'm only doing this to make you happy. So it's like there's no winning.
right.
So men change who they are. They lose their identity, which is why like I like that you started off with ID theft, but again, we throw our identity in the garbage.
So what you're saying is it wasn't really stolen. We
You
we're
threw it
throwing
away.
it when we
You
start to
threw it away.
negotiate. When we start to negotiate, we don't have boundaries. We just toss our
I
identity.
was I was in an abusive relationship from 2016 to 2019. Okay, I was the one that was abused, and yes, I know a lot of people are going, dude, with your look, how the fuck? But it was emotional and psychological abuse. She had 3 kids. I did absolutely everything for her kids. I coached them in their 3 sports in the summer, in the winter. I cooked, I cleaned, I got them from school, I battled to save their school. All of it was never good enough.
You're now what allows you to do that is you're a business owner. The way I'm
Oh,
right.
I was an employee at the time, but I
Oh, you're an
still
employee.
I managed. And what happened is I gave up me
Ah,
because I was seeking validation from her.
from her.
So I was
Yes.
like, I'm gonna give up everything that I love in order to serve my family. And then when I had enough in 2019 and I got out of it, I was like, so so what do I do now? I spent 7 nights a week in the summertime on a soccer field.
Wow.
Now I have 7 nights where I'm free. Who am I?
So you went through this too, Gio.
I've we all go through it.
We all do
I
in different, and it's not just divorce though, too, right? I mean, there's
no,
other,
it's in
there's,
relationships, it's
there's
in friendships.
yep,
We throw our idea away like a candy wrapper. Look at, and so here's the thing. I'm going to give everybody an exercise, right? Analyze all your friendships. How many times have you negotiated your boundaries?
give an example of that. What do you mean?
Fantastic. So, friend of mine in my life, multiple years. Um, at the beginning, it was very fluid. Like communication was two-way. Hanging out with the family, with the kids, and everything was great. Then slowly but surely, communication went one way. And then I felt like I almost was stalking in order to have a burger night with my buddy.
Right,
And I at one point I stopped myself. I'm like, I'm always fucking asking for time. And I'm not talking about every day like a needy girlfriend. Like I'm talking about like once a month, dude. Let's go grab a burger and a beer.
right, yeah, yeah,
Always became complicated, and I was like, fuck man, I'm chasing a friendship, and I'm lowering my standards. I'm losing my identity to keep this friendship going. And at a certain point, I was like, nope, no more. I wanted to find my identity again. I found my worth again. And I was like, nope, done. Done. Friendship died. And everything was communicated, right?
right, yep,
Few years later, yeah, dude, I was wrong. I want to be friends again. Cool. Water under the bridge. You're ready to put in the effort? Not a problem. Same thing happened again.
wow,
Only this time, instead of waiting fucking 3 years, it took me 3 months. Because I refuse to lower the man that I am for anybody.
that's a key right there. That's a key right there that you just said, to lower yourself as a man. And you've talked a lot about, the dad fighting for your kids. It's the same, it's the man thing that to do. And we, you know no matter how hard things get, we need to keep our identity secure.
And
And like,
you can, and I want to be clear on something, Mike. You can give your heart and soul to somebody and still be you,
and still be,
right? Um, Again, I'm still in a new relationship. It's fresh, whatever. And I have all the time in the world to plan dates, to do this, to do that. But when it's my time, it's my time. When it's my things, it's my thing. I decide where I want to help with her and her kids because I really like her kids. They're awesome fucking kids, and I want to be there for them and everything. But I don't lose track of who I am. Appreciation is I don't need somebody to proclaim Geo is the greatest. No, but appreciation costs nothing. And if I don't get it, guess what? I stop doing what I do.
right.
Because
See,
that's
now
what
that's a
I've
good
learned.
thing.
I've learned to stop throwing my identity away. I'm going to continue being who I am, but I want that appreciation and that affection. If I don't get it, guess what? The faucet goes off.
Right. I was going to say that appreciation or the gratitude that's an important key for, and it's something that I've always feel like I need to have that as part of me, who I am, my identity, of being, I've got the servant's heart. And I also know that when someone does something nice for me, it doesn't matter if it's the wife or it's a girlfriend or, a good friend, a man friend, so to speak. It's thanking them for whatever the
You
gesture
can't
was.
you can't lose your identity. And we do it way too often. We have to find it back, and you have to determine who you are, and it has to become non-negotiable. It has to become non-negotiable. Who you are, and I don't care how many kids you have. I don't care how many hours you work. Listen, I work 90 hours a week. I run a podcast. I help run a group. There's so much shit that I do, and you know what I get as a comment from friends of mine? They're like, "You're the busiest motherfucker we know, and you're always the first to answer."
Yep.
Because
I can attest to that.
I remove people's ability to make excuses. This is who I am. I see myself as a bullet train. You want to come on? Bro, bend those knees and stick out that arm. I'm going to catch you on the fly and I'm going to bring you on.
Zoom. Let's go.
I'm not slowing down for nobody.
I
But
love
here's
that.
the thing. Here's the thing. You want to get off? Jump, drop, tuck, and roll. Because this train ain't stopping.
Nice.
Life is too goddamn short. Mike, I am 43, going to be 44 next month. My dad died when he was 46. I don't have time anymore for people. I am no longer investing in people that are not going to invest in me. And some of the worst things that we can hear in today's society is, I've stopped having expectations, so I stopped being like disappointed. No, motherfucker,
Oh,
increase
geez.
your expectation. This
Exactly.
is
Go the
what
other
you
way.
want to be in my life. This is what I expect from you. You want to deliver? Great, stay. You don't want to deliver? Get the fuck out.
Yeah. See, I love that's talk about identity right there. You know, and having purpose, passion. You know, to go. That man, I love that.
It's it's remaining true to you. And I like saying it, Mike, and you know this, you'll attest to this. I like being the asshole.
But an asshole that gets you to thinking, right? And
Yeah,
it's
but
always it's the asshole, but it's like it makes you stop for a second and go,
I'm the asshole that always challenges you to think. That always and it sucks because I'm the first one to look at myself in the mirror in the morning and I'm making sure that I'm still me. But when I talk to anybody around me, I do the same thing to them. I force them to go look at themselves in the mirror. And it's difficult, man.
it's not easy.
No.
Not easy. Speaking of the man in the mirror, and I don't know if you know, and I think it's Mel Robbins that talks about the high five in the mirror. Have you heard of that?
Nope. Educate
It
me.
it is one. It is kind of a cool thing. The first time I tried it, it was a little uncomfortable. The whole high five thing, when you think of it, it's like a celebration. It's a hey, good job, you know. And to do it yourself, and I started doing it and was like, the first time was weird, but then it got to be like it's almost like chills, like, yeah, man, you did a good job there. And right in the mirror, you just like, damn, you did a good job. And so that it's not an everyday thing for me. It's almost like when I need to pick me up.
And but that it works. And I think so you have that one. I think for me it's just I love myself so goddamn much and I'm
There,
not afraid of it. And it's funny. Um Something that I told my ex-wife when we met, when we got married,
hmm
and then through the process of divorce. You're gonna hate me for the same reason that you love me.
Now you said that in the beginning.
Beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah,
I use it in my friendships. I use it in business. The reason why I'm able to say you're gonna hate me for the same reason you fell in love with me is because I am true to myself every single day.
that is so good right there. Because
I've learned. Go ahead. Go ahead.
looking back, I wasn't true to myself back then.
Hmm.
I got lost. I lost all those things. I lost me. because I did not know who I was to begin with. I didn't have that self-awareness of
You got to
knowing,
learn who you are, and then you got to
and
defend it
it's like
with
a
your life.
relationship with yourself, right? I mean, that's I've come to love myself as well. Maybe not as much as you, Gio, but I've learned that I can love myself, not in a bad way. Okay, guys, this is not. We're not talking about pride and puffed up chest here. We're not talking about fake.
No,
Right?
it's
It's a true
authenticity.
it's true love for ourselves to say. And I think the high five in the mirror, somewhere or another, it's like a test. Because I think I would not have been able to look at myself in the mirror and do the high five back then, if that makes sense. It's almost a test. You go to the mirror and you go, can you do it or not? If you can't, then there's some identity problems going on.
And here's the thing, and then we're going to talk about solution. When you learn to love yourself at a strong level, it becomes, wait for it, watch this, toxic masculinity. When a man knows who he is and refuses to lose his ID card, you become toxic. You become toxic because you know who you are. You know what you want. You're not going to stand for bullshit. You're going to stay true to you.
And you're going to be honest and open about
And
who
you're going
you
to be
are.
honest and open. And, I go back and I say it like, the difference between me and you is that when I tell our side of the story, I talk about where I fucked up too.
Yep, absolutely.
And when you get to that level, your frequency, your vibration becomes so high that you drop off so many people.
Isn't that interesting how that happens? That you're talking about vibration. I love the fact that you're talking about that right now because different. We're talking about love. It's an emotion. It's a feeling. They all have different vibrations, and when you can have the self belief and the faith in yourself, that's what helps bring about the self love and that vibration that we're talking about.
Picture a mountain. The mountain is yours, but there's people up and down the mountain. If you hang out at the bottom of the mountain, are you at the top of your performance? But you're
Not
hanging
sure.
out but you're hanging out with those who are comfortable at the bottom of the mountain. They don't want to climb.
Right.
And what happens when you try to climb? No,
Oh,
Geo, stay.
hey, they're gonna pull you
So
back.
you got to break free and get to the top of your own mountain. But what happens as you go up your own mountain? You start leaving those that don't want to climb behind,
Yep.
so they feel abandoned. And the higher you go, the less there's space for other people.
Very true.
And that is your identity. Are you at the top of your own fucking mountain?
And then comes the time when your friend circle shrinks and shrinks and shrinks to those that. And I love the idea that you talked about. I think one of our first episodes, you talked about how the line of haters goes down the block and around and through the city, right? Basically, I don't remember the exact words, but the number of friends that have your back probably don't even make it out the driveway.
No, and you know what happens the more you go up the mountain? People look up the mountain and they see you climbing and they're like, what a son of a bitch, he abandoned us.
Yep, yep. That's the way they see it.
So, knowing that we've got about 5 minutes left, guys, it is absolutely normal to feel like you've lost your identity. You're the only one to blame. You're the only one that's going to find your identity. Whatever it is, my identity is simple. I take care of me. And by that, it's my look. So going to the gym every morning, bulking up, getting stronger. It's my tattoos. It's my beard. It's my overall look, my overall percent, how I feel every morning.
A
It's
killer with a kind heart, right? Is that?
killer with a kind heart, the
I love that.
like the old lady said a couple of weeks ago. But for me, this is when I feel at my best. I take care of my son. He's priority number 2 in my life because I am my own priority number 1. I
And he
work.
models, he from what we've talked about before, he models you and is able to take care of himself, and he's learning to have his own self identity, right? He's not going to
Yep.
allow the way that you're helping him. He's coming
He
to the
ejects
time
people
now.
from his life faster than I do.
There you go. See, now he is, a chip off the old block when it comes to having a boundaries and having that identity, where it's like having the credit card in that protected wallet, right? So
Yep.
when the reader comes along, there's no identity theft's going to happen. it's it's that strong of an identity for him, and
Yep.
he's from you. I love that.
The
I
rest is my
absolutely love
career. I love what I do for a living and I'm completely invested in it. And the rest are my passions. Country music, good food, barbecue, whiskey. I have that in my life. Fuck man, I don't need anything else. And anybody who wants to be a part of my life, the door is open. But know that this is me and you got to come in and you got to live with that.
There it is.
You know?
Yep.
Oh my god, you have like all this whiskey at your house. You must be an alcoholic. No, I just I appreciate good whiskey.
Yep. And you do the sipping thing. I love it.
I sip it. I don't like go to so you know. Oh my god, like I don't like country music. Well, fantastic. Stay over there. You have so many tattoos. Great. Stay over there. I don't like beer. Like, go over there.
There you go.
I
Well,
like my brand. I love who I am. That is my identity. And men, I challenge you to find your identity, your brand, and defend it.
exactly.
Why do Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and all these other brands survive throughout the years? They stay true to themselves. The
Who they are.
ones that don't survive are the ones that don't stay true to themselves. They're the
They
ones
wish
that,
they do this wishy-washy thing, right? It looks like we need to go this way. Oh, no, we need to go that way, and they don't. And I was just thinking, a thought came that you may not be the man you used to be. Maybe you've given that away, but it's not necessarily a loss if you allow it to be a launch pad to where you can now oh, he's starting to smile. Do you see what I mean? I mean, the fact that it took me close to 10 years, I could look at that as a loss of 10 years, a decade, but I don't. I see that as a launch pad for what I'm doing now in serving our brothers out there. And uh, I want the brothers out there to think the same thing. You may have lost yourself, but there's a different way to look at it. That loss can become a launch pad for you.
today you are not the man you were yesterday. Tomorrow you will not be the man that you are today.
Absolutely.
Evolution, non-stop evolution. You never stop climbing your mountain. You keep going, you keep pressing forward, you keep on going up, and every day you evolve a little bit of yourself, but you need to decide who you are. And you have to be ready to defend that nonstop. And if you need help developing your brand, if you need help figuring out who the fuck you are, come talk.
Yeah. Either one of us.
Because you know what? I love who I am. I love my brand. I love my life. I don't stop for nobody. I keep pushing
Well,
forward, and those who don't like it,
you're not picking them up.
I have a couple comments that I can't share on this, but
Right. Well,
but
with that, we're 45 minutes plus, so
politically correct, I tell them to take a long walk off a short beer.
there, there you
But
go.
we're at the 45 minutes. Guys, fuck man, be you.
Yeah.
Accept who you are and don't modify that for anybody. And not for nothing, if you've lost yourself, look at how many times you've modified yourself for somebody and ask yourself, when did that pay off? And I'm telling you, that batting average is goddamn near zero.
Zero.
So stop throwing your idea away. Be you. Be proud of who you are. And people who don't like it, fuck them.
And be proud. You can be proud of the ones that don't like it and just leave them in the dust.
All it is.
Keep climbing the mountain. I love it. All right. Another one in the books, my friend. This has been Drive to Thrive podcast. Uh, oh, hey, where breakdowns become breakthroughs.
Ooh.
I think we're going to start using that tagline a little more. Breakdowns become breakthroughs.
Yeah, and next week, communication. When the check engine light comes on, stop ignoring it.
Oh, the warning light. We love it. All right, my friend Gio.
Peace
And
out,
you guys
brothers.
out there, we love you all.